just as we're starting here, I just want to let you know that just kind of to give me a verbal NDA, more or less, uh, I operate as La Drop with Cheese, as well as Chicagoon, who is a full-on anonymous NFT artist.
Perfect.
And that link tree that I sent you is, all of the links are Chicagoon related, except for that one La Drop with Cheese, which is also me.
All right.
But basically, you're one of the very few people in the entire world that knows that I am Chicagoan.
Okay, all right. Well, what I'm looking to do, Chicago, is or let drop with cheese, is share a little bit more knowledge to the community in which I exist in. I am Gary Foods from the Rolling Pin Podcast, and the Rolling Pin Podcast is a wrestling centered. It's a wrestling themed podcast, but under that umbrella, we do a lot of art. And I support all the artists in that community to the best of my ability. And this is another way that I'm looking to do that, is by asking somebody who's been familiar with NFTs about the process and how it works, and just overall, just like what it is. And because it looks like that's what we're transitioning as I'm looking around, and these different spaces, everybody's talking about it. So I just wanted to provide value to the people who follow me. So thank you first and foremost for jumping on here. I really do appreciate that. So
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess we can start from the basics for real, because this is a learning experience for me and I'm excited to learn. What is an NFT in your definition? Because there's a lot of definitions going around, but I want to put it in terms for everybody who is new, like a baby to this concept.
Okay, as I have been explaining it to my 40-something-year-old friends who don't even comprehend what cryptocurrency is in the first place, what I tell them is a non-fungible token, or NFT, as we all call it, is essentially a very unique piece of art. And it's the same thing as an artist signing it and putting a number on the back in pencil that they had at the time. It is that unique, unreplicable item, or token as we call it, in the same kind of connotation as we understand an actual value of a tangible piece of art. People are like, well, it's not backed by anything. The US dollar is backed by this huge gold deposit. Well, this is backed by a huge deposit of information that is harder to replicate than actual gold or titanium or any metal on Earth or anything in the metaverse or even on Mars. And they seem to kind of grasp it when I explain it that way.
Got you. So for everybody who's a wrestling artist, you can create your own art similar to what you're already doing, I'm assuming, and upload it into this new space. What are these spaces that these people can upload them to I guess, make their work actually mean something a little bit more than it does right now? Like, what are the names of these spaces, and how can we access?
So if you were to go ahead and Google what are the best, what they call them are NFT marketplaces. And there are probably about 20 right now in which artists can upload. I would say 3 months ago, there were probably 3. But you want to start off by uploading your items to Rarible and OpenSea. Those are the number 1 and number 2 by market cap, or as they call it, total volume of sales and transactions. OpenSea, I would kind of lean towards more heavily to, only because they did receive recent rounds of funding. I guess Rarible did too, but it wasn't as big, and it's not as their funding isn't coming from as high profile individuals as OpenSea. So I would say if you're going to start with just one only, start with OpenSea, but then make sure you're on Rarible, and also make sure you're marketing it, because this game is all about popularity. And if you have 10 followers on Twitter and Instagram, you're probably going to make 0 sales.
I got you. So this is still connected to our social media in a way, as far as personal branding is concerned, and who we are and what we do. So I guess when you're in this new space, I guess OpenSea and Rarible, are these people looking at you to say, okay, who are you? And like, what is your, like, who were you before this? Where are you on social media? Do they look for these things and And do they try to find you and find out what you do? And I mean, I'm still new to this, so I'm just trying to figure out like how much of an impact does branding have on your artwork? Personal
I
branding.
would say that it has as much impact in real life. So, for example, if you are just a cool one-off kind of hype clothing drop company, you might not need great branding because everyone knows what the name, like Supreme or what. They're obviously huge and have great branding. But if you're a one-off company, if you get popular on social media, your branding might be terrible, your business models might be awful, but because you just look popular and cool, people are going to sell out, or they're going to buy everything and you're going to sell out. So it's the same way online as well.
How long have you been? I want to give people context. How long have you been doing? How long have you been studying NFTs and like creating the artwork associated with that?
So as far as the specific NFT industry, it has been my full-time job since I would say December of last year. So I've been, up till 2 a.m. when gas fees are low, which people will learn is that dollar amount in which you pay to upload your artwork or purchase a piece of artwork. But so I've been doing it for 5 months full time. I have a marketing degree from a Big East University, and I've been doing marketing, sales, and a lot of internet related ventures.
Congratulations.
I own a company called Christmas Sweater Depot back in Chicago, back in the day in Chicago in 2011 to 2015. We had like multiple stores. It was really cool. It was fun. It was awesome. And I haven't felt alive since Christmas Sweater Depot running my own business until right now.
All right, perfect. Thank you for sharing that information. So what I've been seeing, and I'm sure everybody else has been seeing in regards to these NFTs, this artwork that is being created, is that it's starting to become three-dimensional and virtual. Like it's looking a little bit more real. Is there still a chance that you can thrive in a marketplace like this for someone who is, painting on a canvas like myself, or drawing on a piece of paper or something two-dimensional and uploading it? Or is this a time period where artists in the community need to start looking at shifting and transitioning into three-dimensional artwork to actually have a better chance at success?
Yes. I love that question, because that is what I kept asking myself in December before I started anything really, to be like fully submersed in the business. That no time is too late. I've been saying this for probably a year now, which is digital assets will be the cheapest in our entire lifetime today and right this second. So every day that goes by, it's still a good day, because 20 years from now, doggy coin is going to be the accepted currency on the moon, and Bitcoin will probably be worth $1 million, that kind of thing. But as well as the NFTs. And if you are an artist and you want to get into the game, put up the pieces that you have an emotional attachment to, that you spend a lot of time, that you love, that remind you of something special. Because there is no specific algorithm to selling a lot of your best work. It's like I said, it's random chance, and people can kind of see when you put your bleeding heart out there for the world. The NFT community loves to see it and wants all of it, and will get on board quickly.
Thank you. That leads me to my next question. So what are several ways, I guess, because the market, from what I heard from other people, because I've been listening to people like Gary Vee, he's been talking about NFTs. He's been saying right now this 24-month period is very, very hectic, and it's traffic jam with people who don't have that passion, who are looking for that quick buck. How do you, I guess, in your opinion, differentiate your artwork and yourself in a crowded marketplace to stand out from such competitors who might even be a little bit more talented you, who don't have that same passion?
Right. I would say my recommendation is that you want to be hyper focused on something a very specific segment. So,
wrestling?
people kind of took over that metaverse and those monkey astronaut type. That's kind of his MO. But a lot of artists will just focus on, I'm only doing photography from a certain location and I just want to sell my photos. And people respect that and know that you are a pro and can tell by your work.
I like that.
And then there's other people out there that are just putting up, you know, throwing spaghetti on the wall to see which noodle sticks. So
Yeah.
I think the real NFT artists that are in it right now that are trying to figure it out, which honestly nobody can other than the famous people like Grimes and people that are selling for millions.
Right.
But ultimately, stick to what you love doing in the art world, put it out there, and I promise you people are going to love it.
So thank you. How does that space look up there? Is it similar to, because I haven't really, I haven't dove into it completely. I've just been looking at it, you know, just skimming it. But how does it look up there? Is it like is it, you know, similar to social media where it's like you have followers and whatnot, or is this something completely different? Like, is there a community that has to be built up there as well? Or is this something like, you know, like one-off, like I'm just here, like a bank account, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So it is very much like social media, and each individual platform, NFT marketplace, if you will, has its own kind of subculture. So for example, I have X amount of followers on my store on Rarible alone. And I'm following X amount as well, just like Instagram.
Gotcha.
OpenSea doesn't work like that. There are no followers. You can just like other people's artwork and then they're saved in your favorites. So you more so recognize the pieces. You can reference those pieces that you like very quickly, as opposed to looking at those artists that you like quickly. So yeah, each marketplace has a very different subculture, as long as they Discord and a Telegram and, you know, group on Facebook. So they're all very involved, each individual marketplace.
Do you recommend uploading the same piece of artwork? I guess this might be a yes if you have the capital to do so, but do you recommend uploading similar piece, the same piece of artwork in different channels and hopefully one sells, or is it just like you focus on just this one and et cetera, et cetera? Like what's your strategy on going about that? What's your artwork?
So another interesting caveat to this whole dynamic, as we're slowly learning here, right, is that if I upload all of my artwork on just Rarible, for example, it is duplicated on OpenSea and Try Showtime, which are 3 completely separate marketplaces.
But they're all connected in a way from one upload.
Yes. It's because of whatever collectibles or artwork that you uploaded or purchased is always associated with your wallet. So
okay.
when you sign up for a new marketplace, they're like, would you like to connect your wallet? You say yes. They know exactly what's in your wallet.
Okay, so okay, that makes sense. That actually helps.
Yes, it does.
So you can avoid those gas fees, I guess 3 times versus that one specific time. If that makes sense.
Correct.
Okay.
But then the second issue with trying to upload the same piece of artwork to multiple galleries is that it will discredit you as an NFT artist if you're trying to hawk the same piece of art to, like, hey, this is one of one on this site. It's also one of one on this site.
I got you.
But I only made one, you know. So you want to avoid that before it even starts. You know, I would say the way that I've seen the most successful NFT drops go is that you have a variety of options. So you want to have like maybe 20 or 50 $5 items or something really cheap that anyone, if they like your work, will start buying it real quick.
Gotcha.
And then you want to have like maybe a handful, like 3 to 5 items where you only have 3 to 5 units total.
I got you. Something very
and
exclusive.
then you want to start doing just, this is one of one of a kind, this is it. And then that way you can kind of appeal to all the different buying levels out there.
Got you. So we actually are talking about, I guess we get into the marketing or the strategy behind it. So you're recommending, just to make sure I'm correct and make sure everybody else understands, start off with pieces that are very affordable as your brand is new. And you want to create, I guess, how many would you say, like 10 to 15?
I would say even if you just create 4.
Four.
I think 4 is a good number, 4 to 5
Mm-hmm.
cheap pieces, as well as, I mean, saying you can put all of these at the same time if you want, like 4 or 5 cheap pieces,
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 mid-range,
Mm-hmm.
and then like 1 or 2,
Kind
you
of
know,
like
your
like a
one
pyramid.
Ethereum that you really hope that someone buys someday, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
you can always change the price down, but you can never change the price up
Okay.
on any piece.
So you got to make sure you go in with that stern. This is what I'm selling it for.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's up to you. If you have a few options on the marketplaces, you can
Mm-hmm.
sell it now, and then you set a price, and it
Gotcha.
doesn't really ever expire. So
Gotcha.
if I have 50 items and I'm selling them for $5 a piece, I'm okay selling those forever at that price,
Okay,
you know, so
gotcha.
that is the minimum set price always. And if someone wants to pay more, they can, but no one ever does.
Gotcha.
Where you make your exponential money is when you set it as an auction.
Okay.
And typically,
I'm sorry to cut you off. So in this space, you can do a buy it now, similar to eBay, a buy it now and an auction.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I didn't mean to cut you off. You could continue.
No,
I just wanted to ask to verify.
I get really excited about this stuff, obviously. I
I'm
don't
excited. I'm learning it.
talk about it with a lot of people that are excited like me.
Mhm.
So I appreciate it.
No, definitely.
So, and then where you make your exponential money is when you set it as an auction.
Okay.
And you set a minimum reserve price, which typically it's 1 Ethereum is like the minimum that OpenSea will allow, for example. But you set the minimum bid kind of like around, you know, 0.1, 0.2. So people see it as an approachable item that's rare.
Gotcha.
And then if it gets popular, if you start promoting it on all your channels and maybe running some sponsored ads on Instagram and Facebook, then that's when people will start bidding it up quickly and competing and seeing. And that's when, as an artist, you see these exponential returns on things that you had no idea were possible.
I got you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is all helpful. So let's talk about Ethereum real quick. So Ethereum, I guess, is the currency that is being used in these spaces, OpenSea and Rarible.
Yes.
How does Ethereum convert over from dollars for people who don't understand? Like, because I want people to understand like how much money they actually need to transition over into something like Ethereum and make sure it's a safe investment for them.
Okay. So Ethereum is a technology in which a lot of apps and different other businesses operate off of in a most generic kind of term. So if you want to take your cash and turn it into Ethereum, all you need to do, the easiest thing and the best option, in my opinion, is to sign up for a Coinbase account. It's an app that you download. It's free for anyone.
Is that similar to Bitsky?
It is the exact same thing as Bitsky. It is just a different marketplace.
Got you.
So kind of like how we're talking NFTs, and there's 20 marketplaces where you can buy and sell and list your NFTs. There are probably hundreds now worldwide of marketplaces where you buy and sell your cryptocurrencies.
The reason why I was asking about Bitsky is because I saw that the WWE, the culture in which we exist in, the Bitsky was actually being used by the WWE to sell that Undertaker. I saw it on your page that those Undertaker pieces. So for everybody out there, Bitsky and what was the other one?
Coinbase.
Coinbase. You can register there. So I guess let's put a time frame on it, because I don't want people just to, just listen to this and be like, all right, I'm sending it up today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course it's like a process and like things of that nature, but what phase are we in this NFT space? Because to us, it's new. 2021 is fairly new. Like, everybody I'm following was not talking about NFTs in 2020. You might have been. You said 2019, right?
2020.
2020.
At the end of 2020 is when I started really getting involved.
So how early is it? And like, when I know that you said it's in baby phase right now, but I guess my question is, I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question. How how early is it? Like, is it to be involved in this, or should we just, take a step back and continue to watch the market shift and do what it needs to be, as these people who are just in it for today and gone tomorrow wean out?
I think I understand what you're asking. I think what you want to ask is, if I start today, when am I going to actually make money? Right? Like, that's,
I'm sure everybody wants to know that.
Well, unfortunately, there is no exact answer, but my guesstimate, if you do certain things, and I'm happy to put out a brief guide that just kind of goes over the basic, kind of like, if you want to do a Coinbase, do this. And then if you want to sell an art piece, you want to mint it on Pinata or a third-party service. And then you want to take that minted number and put it on Rarible. Like, those kind of just logistical stuff I'm happy to help with, especially for the wrestling community. Which I also want to mention that there is an app where you can get free wrestling cards right now, and it's super cool, and the cards are awesome. But
thank you, because I'm actually talking to people about wrestling cards too, so this would be helpful for them.
Yeah, so I would recommend that if you start today and you are diligent, you have a full-time job, and this is a side thing, and you're doing 20, 30 hours a week, like maybe 3 to 4 months, realistically, you're going to start to see some traction. Some people list things in the same day they get sales. That didn't happen with me.
I understand.
And most people, and they get discouraged. But honestly, talk to us, like, on any platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, doesn't matter. Ask. The NFT community, we're like seeing it. This is a renaissance right now. And we are happy, and art is flourishing. It's at the forefront of our society right now, which it hasn't been in a long time. So I'm happy to help another NFT artist.
No, thank you. That gives me the confidence.
Every other NFT artist.
We'll definitely be in touch after this, because as I'm creating my own pieces, I'm looking to experiment with it. Like, as I'm creating my own pieces, I'll definitely hit you up and, ask you, like, hey, like, the ins and outs, et cetera, et cetera. It's nice to know that we have help. So everybody, make sure you follow Let Drop with Cheese,
yes,
because he'll get you out the way if you have any questions. I don't know if I'm answering everybody's questions, because nobody submitted any, but hopefully I'm covering them for everybody. Is there anything else that I'm missing as far as NFTs are concerned? Like, did we cover the gist, or is there something that needs to be discussed or addressed that people should be aware about?
I guess I would like to just mention that, and I brought it up a little bit earlier before, but it's a grind like anything else in life. And there is no such thing as get rich quick. And if you're going to get into NFTs, then you need to get into cryptocurrencies in some capacity. You need to have multiple crypto wallets. You have to understand that how certain markets work with each other, and how certain, it's a very complex.
I understand. You can't just jump right in. You can't just jump right in and
right. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to upload this one thing and it's going to make me $5,000 overnight, because that doesn't happen. But there is hope for the whole industry, and it's a force that can't be reckoned with anymore. It's like,
it's here.
Yes, the cost of, or the average price of NFTs went down like 70% or something in the last month. That doesn't mean, that's like any other marketplace in the entire world. Stock market goes down, cryptos go down, they always rebound. And the force that's fueling this industry are the most creative people in the entire world.
I got you. Oh wow, it's nice to know. So where do we go to track this Ethereum? Like, where do we go to track these numbers to see when it is time to say, hey, okay, I need to? Because isn't that how it works? Like, if you're converting your, I'm not sure if you're converting your dollar over, do you have to look at it and say, okay, we're at the dip right now, should I grab it here? Is that how it works? What?
Yeah. So I would just recommend two simple things. One is if you have Bitski or Coinbase, they will always be tracking those, what the actual Ethereum to dollar ratio is, or the value of each Ethereum.
Got you.
But there's a separate thing you need to track along with that, which is gas fees. And it's like gasfee.org is the one that I use. But more or less, it shows you 4 boxes at the top. There's an orange one that's second. Whatever that number is, if you divide it by 2 approximately, that is going to be your cash gas fee.
Got you.
To upload your work or whatever, buy something.
All right. Well, I think that's it. I think that's all I really have. I'm pretty sure 100% you'll be back on here because hopefully when I get this out, I'll send this to the people who are concerned as far as the artists go, and they could understand and, you know, ask those questions that we might have missed for everybody who might be listening right now, who might miss, and we'll get them back on here. We'll ask some more questions and we'll always continuously learn. So thank you, Let Drop with Cheese. I really do appreciate it. I don't want to take too much.
No problem. Oh, the last thing I meant to mention the wrestling cards.
Oh, thank you.
If you download the Topps Slam app, you can get, every day they send you a mystery box. You can play their arcade game and you get free coins to buy cards every day for free.
Right now. You said Topps what? What was that? Topps
Slam.
Topps Slam.
Like the song by Onyx, you know?
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, thank you. So wait, one last question for people who don't understand this as well, because I didn't ask this. Once the NFT sells, what happens?
You get the Ethereum or whatever current cryptocurrency, because, you know, it's mainly Ethereum, but sometimes it's a different crypto. You get that amount in which you sold minus the fees, which they tell you before you list anything what those fees are. You get that deposited into your cryptocurrency wallet.
Okay, got you.
And then if you want cash, all you do is transfer from your cryptocurrency wallet to your bank account.
Got you.
And it's that easy. But
and
again, wait for low gas fees.
I got you. So this art also can be resold as well by the purchaser. It's not exclusive. It's not like this art isn't you know, eligible for resale. It's, you can continuously sell this to other people in this new community.
Yes, and on OpenSea and Rarible, you can set a royalty fee before you sell anything, and that royalty fee is determined 100% by you. It could be 5%, which seems to be common, or it could be 20 or 30%. And anytime your artwork is resold to anyone forever, you will get that commission amount for whatever they sell for.
Nice. But it has to continuously be resellable. It has to continuously resell. Like once it stops selling, that's when you stop making the
correct.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So that's all I got. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to get this up tomorrow. I want to get this out to the people as quickly as possible. So
yeah, it was great talking to you, Gary. I'm happy to be, you know, on whenever, and we can always talk wrestling and NFTs all day.
Wait, do you watch wrestling?
I do, yes.
Oh shit. So did you watch WrestleMania?
You know what? This NFT thing.
I got you.
I had an art drop collection 2 weeks ago, and it's been extremely busy. So
understandable. But it's nice to know that
I have over thousands of digital wrestling cards on the Topps app.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate it.
All right, Gary. Good talking to you. Reach out to me anytime.
All right.